to play the game.
Big people to have missing.
Yeah, Green Younger has been the sixth man the last few games here in Springfield. Sixth man, first man off the bench, and has contributed on both sides of the court. DeRozier, a starter all season, had some tremendous games the last few weeks, but he's also out tonight. They certainly are, particularly against the basic light gray. It really stands out.
And making his way to the hoop, Majoke to get the Thunder an early advantage. So here is Smith. Shovels to Ross, who unloads. Hits his first shot. 2-2.
Glad to see Ross in there. It was questionable before the game, talking to Coach Brian Stasitis. Ross has got an Achilles injury, but he certainly didn't show it on that effort.
And coming on that is Crowder. Ross with the rebound. Ross in his first season with the Zombies. Brown misses, and the rebound is speared by Davenport. Davenport, number 11, being played by Ross. Davenport to the hoop. So it's a 4-2 advantage for the Thunder. Token pressure, and Smith handles it. Tylon Smith retreats. He's with McLaughlin, number 44. Number 20 is Ross, who loses the handle and got it back. Marcel Brown, number 2. Shot clock running out. Ross unloads with a back pass. Comes up empty and Bailey rebounds. All by his lonesome was Crowder to score. And it's a 6-2 lead for the Thunder. Coach Brian Stacey said before the game he expected a low-scoring game. The one problem, there are no low-scoring games.
Not in the East Coast Basketball League, there isn't.
And a turnover. Picking it up, the joke, and a swing. So Bailey is active with the hoop. First bucket for Bailey, 8-2 lead for the Thunder. Smith trying to take advantage of McLaughlin's screen, and there is a foul on the joke. First of the game.
No, he's backing up. Keep going.
Smith is clearly the floor leader for the team, has been all season, but he's not afraid to look for his opportunity to drive the lane as he did there, and he drew the foul.
Smith works for the Manchester Rec Department, played basketball in Europe from Southern Connecticut State University. And I think he's getting better. Having a good season, has 1 point, and it's going to game. Wide open. So defensive malnutrition that time for the Zombies, and the Thunder made him pay.
Make yourself accessible, that's all. There you go, he's going to back up.
9:25 left in the first quarter. 10-3 Zombies. A wide open shot by Ross is the ball on 5 points for him.
Stay with him. Stay with him. Stay with him. You got him. You got him.
Davenport being played by Smith. Here comes Davenport. He lofts it up to Bailey. Good defensive play by McLaughlin. All by his lonesome. Down court. Brown shoots. Number 43, Headaway. A number change, but we know the result. It is 10-8. Bailey. Nope. 14-footer connects, and it's 12-9. He has 4 points. Ross unloads. Jackpot. Ross has 7 points. It's a 12-11 game. Davenport trying to answer.
Get that!
And the rebound by Brown after the miss by Zachary Ross. And a turnover. Bailey has it. 12-11, the Thunder lead. 4 minutes gone by in the game. Davenport has some pop moves to the hoop.
No!
But missed that time. Bailey misses. And the rebound by Petaway. Here comes Smith. Off his kneecap, or off his toenails, I think. He might need a manicure after this game.
Yeah,
Sure you can hook him up with a place.
absolutely. A little bit sloppy there coming down the court, but there's been a few instances where the Zombies have given up the ball after what should have been good opportunities.
Well, here's a good opportunity here. Anytime Petaway has it, it's a good opportunity, but misses. And the rebound by Zachary Voss.
You got him, Marcel. You got him. Stay with him. Oh!
Voss lost the handle, but there was nobody there to take the ball away. Bailey,
Yes!
And here comes Smith. Kellogg on the rampage, but throws it away. It is Majoke. Shovel shot missed. Second opportunity is good. Second chance cast for Majoke, who has 6 points. And the Thunder has a 14-11 lead.
The previous break, Smith was looking for a call on that one, feeling he got hammered, and he was still glaring at the officials even as Majoke made that basket.
Well, now he's glaring at the basket. Pass is off. And the shot missed. Robert Jones again. To the Zombies. Bailey. And the shovel shot is good by Zachary Voss. This one's points in the game, and the Thunder lead by 5.
A nice look by Bailey on that one as well to find the open man coming in.
I think the Thunder is a pretty good passing team.
They've certainly shown that so far, but again, we're only halfway through the first quarter.
And there are a lot of peaks and valleys in these games. Petaway got the shot off in time, and it counted. His second hoop. And it's 16-13.
About as close as you can come to a 24-second violation without having it actually called.
Majoke just raised the rim, and Robbie Jones rebounds.
Get up there!
Jones sets up Smith. Tylon.
Oh, take it back.
Yep, but a one-handed rebound by Majoke. 16-13, the Thunder leading. There is
Good rebound. Keep it up. Numbers.
rebounded by Ross. Galloping to the hoop, Marcel Brown. First points of the game for Marcel and a timeout. Called for by the Thunder. 5:32 left, first quarter. The Thunder leading the Zombies 16-15.
After the game, and you want to grab a slice, look no further than Gio's Pizzeria and Lounge, located at 9 Allen Street, Camden. Stop in and try the God.
Okay, I'm getting there. A little rusty in the beginning. I haven't announced in 4 weeks.
The Zombie Sanchez. Zombies down by 1 on Matthew James. This is Zombie Basketball.
The Zombies are back on the court, and it's a 16-15 game. We haven't seen the press so far by the Zombies, and I think there's a reason for that.
You got this, Zombies.
Well, there hasn't really been a whole lot of time. It's East Coast Basketball League signature is fast end-to-end action.
And they're going to call a bumping foul. And that is only the first team foul against the Zombies, and it's sideline possession on non-shooting fouls until a team collects its fifth foul. A new face into the game for the Zombies.
Hey, there you go. Oh.
shot is short. Number 13, we thought he was a scratch, but he is here. Blocked by Bailey. And Bailey has 6 points. And
You got this. You got this.
good move by Smith. What a roller coaster move that time by Smith, who has 3 points.
As we said earlier, he's not afraid to drive the lane. He may be a guard, but he plays much like a forward quite a bit at a time.
On that one, he played like a fullback. Rebounds miss. Here comes Smith. Ross is open. That's a basket and he drew the foul. This could be a 4-point play.
Third three-pointer of the first quarter here for Jake Ross, which brings a bit of personal satisfaction to me as he's a recent graduate of Springfield College, where my daughter now attends. So definitely go Pride.
So we have a timeout. It is Robbie taking over the lead on the 8-18.
To the beach out. Around the world.
.12 left in the first quarter as Jake Ross tries to finish a 4-point play. Ross 10 points of the Zombies' 20-point total. So I think to say he's carried the offense so far, Tim, would be an understatement.
That certainly is, Matt. You're absolutely right. And particularly someone who it was feared right up until game time whether he was actually going to be able to participate tonight. So great to see him doing so well here in the first quarter.
11 points in the first quarter for him. And it is a 21-18 lead for the Zombies.
You got him.
First time they've led in the game. 4 minutes to play in the opening quarter. This is number 11, Davenport. Being played by Ross.
No!
Everything to score. And number 2, and it will be a sideline situation for the Zombies.
Interesting play there. I've seen that quite a bit in the last few weeks here in the ECBL. A lot of, how can I say, drive the lane scoop shots with pretty low percentage of conversion on those.
Smith goes to the baseline. It's backpedaler by Ross. Comes up empty for one of the few times and Clemens rebound. 21-18, the Zombies leading.
Stay with him. Stay with him. Oh!
Shovel shot misses. Rebounded by Brown. This is Robbie Jones. Finding some driving room. Now Smith has it. Being pounded by Clemens. Davenport puts him up on the switch. His first shot spills out. Offensive rebound. Looks like there'll be a foul. And there's number 10.
Lloyd Kennedy, a recent acquisition of the Zombies, a player out of Worcester. Made a strong offensive rebound there when had the putback, but it just spun off the rim and wouldn't drop. It seems to be the...
Stay with him!
He was guarding number 20.
Good. Stay with him. Stay with him.
Bouse.
Stay with him. You got him. You got
There
him.
is Zachary Bouse.
Get out there. Get out there. Good hustle. Stay with him. It's off.
Clemens short on the shot.
Good game.
Paul's in the rebound. 2:28 to go for the quarter. The Zombies by 3. that was picked up in the NFL draft. Thompson hooks it to Kennedy. Kennedy's first points of the game, 23-18.
Great hustle on both ends of the court there from Thompson. He missed the shot, but did not let that deter him. Got all the way back to make the steal on the defensive end, and then led to the basket by Kennedy.
Smith got his hands on it to Thompson. He gallops to the hoop, and it's swatted away. Coming from the rafters was number 13, Clemens, as he swatted that one, I think, into West Springfield.
It might have even been a little bit further than that, and then on top of that, he gave him the glare as Thompson was laying prone on the court, and Clemens gave him a look like, take that.
What about the look by Smith? Comes up empty. Rebounded by Bourne. And now the first goal, somebody got clobbered as McBride took the shot. McBride into the game. And the man who paid the price for that was Micah Cropper, as he wound up on the and they don't even get shots out of that, Tim. A lot of punishment for no foul shots.
Wow, that's pretty rough on the body to not be a shooting foul, but instead the visitors will take the ball inbound.
Stay with him. Stay with him. Demetrius Davenport is an offensive foul. So a turnover against the Thunder with 1:32 to play in the opening quarter. And the Zombies, who were down by as many as 6 in this game, are now up by 5.
Yeah, biggest lead they've had so far tonight, but as we've seen in the past weeks here in the ECBL, lots of ball still to play.
Jones missed a three-pointer. And Crowder got the rebound, but Pride just inserted into the game.
Stay with him. You got him.
Davenport working against Kennedy.
Get it.
Not there, but a good offensive
Stay
rebound.
with your man.
1:11 to play in the opening quarter. Davenport really nervous move. He made the basket. He drew the foul.
Well, Davenport redeemed himself after that first drive where he threw up, as I mentioned earlier, one of those kind of underhanded scoop shots that wasn't successful, but he got the ball back and drove the lane the second time, made the basket, and goes to the line for looking to convert the conventional three-point play.
I'm sure you've seen that commercial by Geico. Scoop, there it is. That time it was scoop, there it wasn't.
It was not.
So the foul shot is missed, 23-20 to score. And it still will be no Zombie. 1:02 to play in the opening quarter. And a lot of people want to know what is going on. The coach,
Mullen Morrison, definitely.
to have the ball,
Yeah, she's not too pleased.
is Lucas Morrison. And it is Zombie ball. Do you agree with that, Tim?
You know, it's hard for us at our vantage point to tell, but Mullen Morrison certainly did not agree with that call, and she's still pacing the sidelines about it.
And now she has another call to disagree with. As Clemens picked up the foul, and it will send Jones to the line to shoot 2. I think he used to have orange sneakers the last time you saw him in action, and he's more conventional now. Gray sneakers to match his uniform. And he makes both free throws. First point of the game. 20. That should have been a play in the first quarter. And a blocking foul is called against the Zombies as McBride tried to go to the hoop. And it's a shooting foul.
Yeah, nice drive down the lane by McBride, and ball almost fell, but not quite, but he will shoot 2.
Well, I think at one time the score was, what, 18-13 in favor of the Thunder, and now it's 25-20 Zombies. So kind of a reversal in the final half of this quarter. McBride averaging 16.9 points per game for the Rose City Thunder from Lancaster, Pennsylvania. Both free throws are good. It's 25-22. And let's see if the Zombies can get a 2-for-1 here at the end of the quarter. Thompson lost the ball. but the Zombies retain it. And 13 seconds left, and Rubik's to shoot.
Crowder almost lost.
To shoot in about 5 seconds or so in order to get the 2 for 1.
And Crowder almost lost more than just the ball on that one. He got hit pretty hard, but no foul called.
Robbie Jones fouled on the perimeter by Zachary Holt. So Zachary Voss picks up the foul. It will send Jones to the foul line. And he just made 2 out of 2. 3-point lead for the Zombies with 32.1 seconds to play in the opening quarter. Well, by Zombie standards, Tim, I think you can say this is a low-scoring first quarter.
Oh, it really is. I mean, at this particular point, they're on pace for just over 100 a game. And in the ECBL, that is pretty low scoring. They came into the game averaging 124.5 points per contest.
26-22.
Stay with him!
The Zombies out in front. Crowder. Oh, they tried to get the foul back shot. It wasn't called. There's a shot by McBride. Takes the penalty, bounce off the hoop into the end. Thompson. Will they play for one?
Hey.
Looks like that'll be the case.
Yeah, shot clock is off, so I think they will. Well, so much for that.
The battle for the rebound. Kennedy. He's whacked in the act. 2.3 seconds left, and Kennedy will go foul shooting.
Yeah, he got hit pretty hard on the arm on that one. That ball didn't even have a chance of being converted to possibly get a three-point play, but he will shoot 2.
If he can get the feeling back in his heart.
Good point.
Kennedy at 3 points. The Zombies with a 5-point lead. 2.3 seconds to play in the quarter, so the Thunder will get one last opportunity. But it won't be a high percentage shot. Oh, by Christian Thompson. Misses at the horn. So a very exciting first quarter here at the Springfield Anthony M. Scavelli Gymnasium. Our score, the Zombies 28, the Thunder 22.
I missed one basket.
All right, Zombies up by 6.
Count my stuff.
Moving into a new looking for a reliable moving company? Well, look no further than our friends at A to Z Moving and Storage. With over 35 years experience, they're the go-to moving company in Western Massachusetts. We're moving up the scoreboard. We're up by 6. This is Zombie Basketball.
Of the first quarter.
Well, the first quarter, there was actually pretty ragged play on both ends quite a bit. A lot of low percentage shots were being taken. The encouraging part of the first quarter, though, was the play of Ross, who had 3 3-pointers and 12 points in the quarter.
Yeah, Terrence Thompson was trapped underneath, and going to the foul line will be Lloyd Kennedy, and I think Tim Kennedy has given the team a spark since entering the game at the about at the midway point of the first quarter.
He has, in last week's contest, he only had very, very limited minutes, didn't figure into the scoring at all, but tonight he's gotten quite a bit of play, and just tallied his 5th point of the evening.
And that one spills out. The announcing case. It
Stay
even
with
works in
him!
this way.
Stay with him!
Crowder. For Crowder, that's his second hoop. 29-24, the Zombies in front. Both teams playing pretty good defense. Johnson. He took a head start with travel violation.
Doing these games the last few weeks, Matt, came as a big surprise to me, having been used to watching NBA ball. They actually do call traveling violations here in the East Coast Basketball League.
All right, defense. Let's go,
Schatz made a
Zombies.
brief appearance.
He's on the
Now he is
hustle.
back on the bench for the Zombies. Brown did a good job of playing in. Here's Davenport. And a foul against the Zombies. First team foul against the Western New England.
A little bit of a wake-up there call there from McBride, getting hit in the back with the basketball by the official, inadvertently, of course.
Defense, Zombies, you got this.
Crowder, number 22, was played by Tyron Smith. Good give and go to Bailey. And Bailey has 4 points, 29 to 26.
Great look by Crowder. It looked as though he was going to drive the hoop, but out the corner of his eye, he spotted Bailey for the easy lay-in.
Three-pointer, Rodney Jones. Jones left alone, doubles his output for 6, 32 to 26.
All the way under. Stay with him. Yeah.
Bailey was about the only way he could have made it to the hoop. So pretty good defense by Pettaway that time, as he gave the man nowhere to go.
No surprise there with Pettaway being a standout defensive player and averaging almost 19 rebounds a game on top of just being a big hulking presence down underneath in the key or in the zone at 6'8", 240 pounds.
Ross, a three-board jumper, not
We got a
there.
rebound.
And the rebound is a joke. Great play by the front. He scored his first points in the game. 32 to 28. 4-point lead. Here's Jones on the baseline.
Get it out. Behind.
Shut up to Pettaway.
Good take.
Pettaway with a reach around. Good. He has 6 points.
Zombies converted there, but I do like the pressure defense that the visitors have been showing.
How did that go in? As Krause wound up on the seat of his pants, but has a three-pointer. Cutting the lead in half to 34 to 31. 9:20 to play in the first half. Tyron Smith has been the spark plug today, and Ross has had the ammunition. Here's Jones. Not on target. And the rebound by Bailey.
All right, find him and stay with
9
him.
minutes to play. Collision and a blocking foul. Tyron Smith is called for the foul.
You had to make one call.
And I think everybody except the guys wearing the gray and cream jerseys thought that might have been an offensive foul.
Certainly, Tyron Smith thought that he had drawn the charging foul, but the officials disagreed, and I think that Tyron disagrees with the disagreement.
Feedback call up to the head guy. Go,
Talk to Gary Corbett. Well, they don't even get
All right,
shots.
Zombies, you got this.
Blocking foul.
I don't understand that call if it's not a charge and they call a blocking foul while the man's driving to the hoop. It should have been a shooting foul, but again, we're not the ones wearing the officials' jerseys.
Ross, number 20. Pettaway, number 23. There is Ross all the way to the hoop. 14 points.
No, it's off.
And an air ball on McClellan. A rebound by the Thunder. 36 to 31 is the score. And it will be Zombie ball. We have had some entertainment here in the first half.
We sure have.
Scoring has been down.
And even on that play, Crowder made a tremendous save on the baseline and then ended up hitting the three, but the whistle had already blown and the ball had been turned over.
This Crowder, he never gives up. Oh, a little behind the back by Smith. Got the shot away. It didn't fall in. Well, let's see what the call is. And they call him offensive foul.
Brian Stasitis, I hope doesn't have a stroke on the sidelines. He is all the way down now at the far end of the players' bench, questioning that call. Really kind of an unusual call, considering it was almost a carbon copy of what happened in the defensive end earlier when he got called for the block.
But the call was not a carbon copy. Our officials today are Jason Murray, Gary Corbin, and Gavin Walker. And they're going to discuss what is going on. It looked like an instant replay of what we saw before, but the call was definitely not the same.
No, it certainly was not.
I don't know what the reason would be for a conference. If they made a call, they want to see how to play on.
I don't really know what they're discussing here.
Conversation with Jason Murray and Bill Mellick came over right in the middle of it. Well, I used to see Red Auerbach do it, so it's not the first time I've seen that.
The fact that you and I remember Red Auerbach says an awful lot. Not sure what, but it says an awful lot.
In fact, I saw him doing it at the Hartford Center, where the Celtics used to play a handful of their games.
Yeah, home games, I think they would play 3 or 4 a season, if I recall. Back when it was called the Hartford Civic Center. He has not as of yet. I do expect to see Brian Stasitis use more of a rotation in and out of players in the second half, bowing to the fact that the visitors have only 7 players dressed tonight.
So they had to jump off. I guess there was a difference in the officials. So here is Ross. They stop him that time. Offensive rebound. Pettaway spilled in. Malik Pettaway with 8 points. The Zombies leading by 7.
Good strong move by Pettaway. Remained patient and then got that ball to drop.
McBride trickles in it. That is the joke. 8 points per game. 38 to 33. And now Smith deep on the right. Jones open for 3. Happy landing. Jones is second 3-pointer of the game, and it's 41 to 33. Zombies have their foot on the gas pedal. Crowder on the return pass. Not there. And the rebound check down in the corner. And Smith rebound. Hawkins on a hot streak, leading by 8. Great half from Smith to Pettaway. Pettaway retains Smith with the assist.
Smith really is the quarterback on this Zombies team, and certainly showed it right there with a beautiful dish to Pettaway for the easy 2.
Pettaway diverts that pass out of bounds. Double barrel substitutions for the Thunder. Lord Zachary Bouts comes back into the game. This is Davenport, number 11. Crowder, number 22, and it's still almost by Ross. The table got in his way.
And good hustle there by the Springfield College alumni. And unfortunately, though, the ball stays in the possession of the visitors.
Here's Baylor. Robin Jones finds Ross. And Ross found the big section. Jake Ross's first year with the team leads with 14 points, 6:46 to play in the first half, and it's a double-digit lead for the Zombies.
Yeah, after that early 6-point deficit, they've really outplayed the Thunder over the last 17, 18 minutes of the contest.
And I think the Thunder has gotten real cold from shooting. for Ross, giving him 15 points, and that gives the Zombies an 11-point lead. The Thunder is gone cold. Let's see if they can heat up. A spinning move. Missed by Clemens, rebounded by Ross. Robbie Jones to Ross. A little behind the back action. Boy, when did the Globetrotters arrive in town? There's Robbie Jones, air ball. Rebounded by Clemens.
Well, you got to admire the behind-the-back pass there by Ross. Unfortunately, Jones couldn't cash it in.
Yeah, you should get an assist when you do that at the very least. There is Crowder. Scores over Jones. Michael Crowder. He has 9 points, and it's 44-35. Boy, Ross playing point guard here.
Well,
Misfired, Clemens and rebound. Michael Clemens, 44-35. Clemens losing the handle, and it belongs to the Zombies. So Clemens could not survive that traffic jam.
no, he certainly couldn't, and the defense really doing well at this point for Western Massachusetts, clogging the lane, making it not really accessible as it had been earlier in the game.
So Smith in the backcourt with Jones, Ross, Chenaway, and Brown. Smith from the basket, and he drew the foul. So Smith has not had every call go his way so far in this game. Was able to get that one to fall.
Well, they say the third time's the charm, and I think that was illustrated there. Again, as we mentioned earlier, Smith not afraid to drive the lane, and there it pays off. And when we come back from break, possibly make the old-fashioned three-point play.
Zombies out in front, 46-35. So you got to bring your floor? We need waitress service. I used to get service at Enfield. People brought me stuff. I mean, those people were so nice that ran the butcher bar. They forgot to realize that the Journal Enquirer was dead. And they come up and you have to admit, the people. And a lot of people think they didn't have a basketball team. That's not a... Here's Tylon Smith at the foul line. He resumes. Missing. Couldn't finish the three-point play. He had 6 points. And the Zombies have a 5-point lead. As Zachary Bouts comes up empty. 5:13 to play in the opening half. The Zombies, after a slow start, have taken command of this game. Smith sets up Jones. And Jones with another 3-pointer. His third of the game. Robert Jones has 12 points. And Robbie Jones guilty of a foul.
Robbie Jones with 3 3-pointers in this quarter alone, 12 points in the game, and coming into tonight's action, he's only averaging 6.5 points a game. So it's great to see so much offensive output from a reserve player.
His offense. Get it! He can't make that shot work, but he gets second chance cash. Chris Finney in double figures with 10 points. 12-point lead for the Zombies. 4:33 to go in the opening half.
Michael, come on now.
Smith. Will look for a better shot. Gets it into Petaway. Backing against Davenport. The finger roll is no good. Rebounded by number 13, Clemens. And the layup is by Bowman, who has 4 points. Wow.
Actually, you're correct. It was Vos. It is Vos, actually. You're correct. Whoa! Bomb from outside.
And Brown scoring for three. From Marcel Brown.
Good game! Good game out there! No basket!
And it is Clemens going to the hoop. And he was hacked in the act. So Clemens, first points of the game.
That was perfect. I won't hit that.
And the first to two scored by Clemens. 52-40. And ever since about the 6-minute mark of the first quarter, the Thunder have found points hard to come by. They scored 2 more, and it's 52-41.
Well, an 11-point lead in this league is certainly no guarantee. Last week's game, for example, the home team, the Zombies, were up by 18. Before you know it, they were only up by 3.
Into the game. Missed that shot from the corner. Good team. He was knocked off his feet. But was he in the act of shooting?
We're going to find out in just a moment on that. It appeared to me that he was making his move to the hoop there, and he will be shooting two in this situation. Quite a hard bump to the floor he took as well.
Yeah, Ross committed the foul, and he went down like a holding chair. So here is Lee Davenport. Lee short for Demetrius. Has 5 points in the game. And it is single digits on the board, 52-43. Leads can disappear. Penn and Teller. Not when Robbie Jones goes out. Robbie Jones, what a second quarter he has. 14 points in the game.
And that
54-43. Into the low block shot from Lee. Bailey and a turnover for the Thunder.
looked like Bailey was concerned with the defender that was all over him and took his eye off the ball briefly, and that's all it takes for the pass to just sail out of bounds, and it goes back to the Zombies.
Coming back into the game is McBride. And Majoke is back in too. And the Zombies with an 11-point lead. Smith. And he should be getting 3 fouls now. He was just laid out by Michael Crowder.
Smith is really a good outside shooter. However, he doesn't take that opportunity that often because, as we said earlier, he does like to drive the lane and try for layups, and also draws a lot of fouls by doing just that.
Well, he drew that one while shooting a 3-pointer. Even though he was only 1 out of 3 from the foul line before that, he has a reputation as a pretty good foul shooter. 2:46 to play in the opening half, and the Zombies leading by 12.
I know you from my face.
Tylon Smith, his grandfather, one of the legendary coaches in the state of Connecticut, Ken Smith.
Ken, great Windsor coach, was actually here at the game a couple of weeks ago, and I had a chance to chat with him before the game. Legendary coach in North Central Connecticut.
Except for your boss. Hi, Bill.
Yeah, a little lane violation there. They will give Smith another opportunity. He has 8 points. And I think his value to the team today is reflected more in what he scored. The defense he's played and the offense that he has.
Definitely getting it done at both ends of the floor so far tonight.
Good.
defense by the Zombies. Crowder. Smith over the fingernails of Smith to score. Crowder now 11 points.
And 9 of those have come in this quarter.
McLaughlin into the game, couldn't handle that pass, a turnover.
How did he get that?
He is denied on the lip, but he got it to McBride.
Get that rebound!
Bailey, jumper no good. And the rebound is finally secured by Kennedy, and he is sideswiped by McBride. It's a good thing we're not on radio, Tim, because that might have been a little too hectic to call.
Just a little bit, a lot of traffic underneath, and a couple of shots that looked like they were going to fall that didn't, and boy, I'll tell you.
Smith giving some color commentary to the fans sitting in the first row.
Yeah, he actually cut me off.
Kennedy to the line, 5 points. Missing the first. The Zombie lead has stayed about the same for the second quarter, low double digits.
And it looks as though Brian Societas is starting to utilize that strategy of getting more and more players in to wear out the undermanned visitors. Right now, only one starter is in the lineup in the game at the moment for the Zombies.
Getting his fingertips on McBride is Hernandez over 55. And the Zombies over the limit, so this will be a two-shot opportunity for Tyshawn McBride.
It is my bank. I know it is.
And the lead is 12 for the Zombies.
Is it one of those chain banks, or is
left
it like
in
one of
the
those
second
the
quarter.
local, you know? There you go. I'm taking credit for that.
On McLaughlin. And here comes Smith. He has been in charge of the offense. That is Robbie Jones. Here is Kennedy. And he knew he was going to be fouled, so I think he just threw it up. Crowder obliged by following him, and Kennedy will go to the line.
And he certainly did. Nice up fake by Kennedy, and then making his move for the hoop, drawing the foul, and hopefully will add a couple of more points to the already 12-point lead that the Zombies hold at the moment.
My lifetime.
But as you alluded to earlier, we have a long way to go.
A lot can happen in 25 and a half minutes remaining in regulation time here in this ball game tonight.
And you know that the Thunder, with the talented offensive players that they have, they are going to make one run, maybe two runs. So, the complexion of the game could change. Right now, it's a 14-point lead for the Zombies.
Let's go. Stay with them. Stay with. Yeah, good.
Air ball, rebounded by Hernandez. So much good. Robbie Jones. Crossover and a shot and a three-pointer. Fourth three-pointer of the first half for Jones.
Robbie Jones not afraid to put it up from considerably behind the three-point arc on that occasion.
But he gets it back and scores. 8 points for Davenport. 15-point lead for the Zombies. And here's the man responsible for a lot of that lead. Robbie Jones, now played by Davenport. He gets a pick from McLaughlin. Here is Thompson. Terrence Thompson spills out. And it is Robbie Jones. Boy, Robbie Jones, I've seen the Zombies on and off the last 3 seasons. I never saw him have an offensive production night like this.
As we said earlier in the game, we mentioned he's only averaging 6 points a game, but 17 already tonight.
What are the Zombies missing? Their number 1 3-point shooter, DeRocher. they needed someone to come in and pick up the slack, and Robbie Jones has certainly done that.
He has off the bench, and also, again off the bench, I'm impressed with the play of Thompson thus far in limited minutes. He's been a real spark plug out there as well.
And Bailey off the target, and that's the end of the first half. What a first half it was for the Zombies to get off to a slow start and then picked up momentum. Our score 63-48 for the Zombies.
All right, guys, that's a half. Zombies up by 15.
We will get some comments from Tim Jensen in the first half. Tim, what did you think of the first half?
Well, as you said, it was a slow start for the home team, down by 6 points early, but they came back. They took a lead and have maintained the lead. Now they've got the lead up to 15 points, and I think we're already starting to see the fatigue setting in on the visitors from Red Rose because they only have 7 players active, and Brian Sestitis is starting to rotate more and more of his bench in, keeping his players more fresh than the visitors have been able to do, and I think that's going to play even a bigger factor in the second half of the ball game.
Robbie Jones with 17 points on 4 at halftime. The Western Massachusetts Zombies 63 and the Rose City Thunder 48. like talking about Red Auerbach, about the same era.
Continental Cable. Wow, you're really going back there, Mr. Buckler. I mean, I think I had hair still back in those days.
Third quarter, the Zombies leading 63-48. They'll start the second half with McLaughlin, Ross, Smith, also Brown, and Jake Ross with it. The fade to McLaughlin. They made it look easy, didn't they?
Sure did. Nice way to start the second half with an easy layup.
65-48. Ross to McLaughlin. And that shot misfires. Get it a rebound, Marcel Brown, number 2. Marcel with 7 points in the first half. Jeremy Smith. Smith, a long three. On target. Boy, I think that was so far away, it had ice on it. But Smith with a dozen points. 15-point lead for the Zombies. Here's Bailey. Over McLaughlin. And an air ball. He got it over the mountaintop, but it didn't hit anything. 68-48. Biggest lead of the game for the Zombies. Head away, breaking to the hoop. I don't know if Brown's fouled or not. So Brown fires. On target. 9 points for Brown.
That was
come out smoking, Tim.
That was actually a three-pointer. They called it a three-point almost at the last second. So.
And that puts Brown in double figures. It puts Bailey on the deck. Here is Ross. Brown just connected on a three-pointer. Headaway. He sets up Bailey and scores. Headaway, one-on-one with Bailey, and it turned out there to be no contest.
I wouldn't be surprised if Marlon Morrison calls timeout sometime soon with the fast start that Western Mass has gotten out to here in the second half.
And it is a jump ball. There is no possession arrow in this league, which I think is a pretty good, they jump it up, and there was no contest. The breakaway for Smith, for Corrales, and pass throws it to nobody but Davenport.
And I got caught off guard on that a few weeks ago, not realizing that. I haven't seen not a possession arrow in many, many years.
The reverse is made by Lord Zachary Vouch, who had the second field goal. 73-50. The Zombies have broken open, but a turnover. There is Zachary Vouch, and he was whacked in the act by Petaway.
He sure did. Almost got spun completely around after getting contacted there, so he'll be heading to the free throw line.
A 23-point lead for the Zombies, and they had kind of torn things open here in the second half. But as we have both pointed out many times, that can change in a hurry. A team starts to get hot, and a 73-51 lead could disappear quicker than it Penn and Teller with the referees.
What? You're laughing because I said my full name?
Both made by Zachary House, and it's 73-52.
Yes. Well, I don't know it.
Marcel Brown, Robin Smith. Who was after the half, and the man who committed the foul doesn't think so. Tyshawn McBride.
And Smith once again there demonstrating what we've mentioned several times throughout the game, his willingness, despite not being the biggest player on the court, to drive the lane right to the hoop, and in the process he does draw a tremendous amount of fouls against him.
That was a foul, sir.
Don't yell at the ref. Don't yell at the ref.
I think willingness perfect word, because it's his willpower that enables him to go places where it doesn't look like he has any room.
And that's the kind of player that he was at Kingswood Oxford School in West Hartford during his scholastic days, and then later at Southern Connecticut State University. He continues here in the semi-pro game here in Western Massachusetts.
And both free throws were deposited by Smith, who has 5 points in the quarter, 14 in the game, 75 to 52. Up contact.
Somewhat minimal contact, I think, on that one, especially compared to some of the calls in the first half, or non-calls, we should say, where there was heavy body contact without the whistle being blown.
So it's a non-shooting foul. Majoke picking up the contact. Here's Bailey against McLaughlin. No good. He rebounded by Petaway. 8:51 to play in the third quarter. There's the lob to Petaway. 25-point lead for the Zombies. Davenport punched away by Smith. And he's in contact, even though the man defending on the play, Zachary Vowles, he made a clean block, but Ward picks up the foul, and Smith will be shooting two.
Thought that was an opportunity there, Matt, for Smith. Had the trailer, Ross coming in behind him, perhaps dish it off for the easy lay-in. However, Smith, as we said, not afraid, took it right to the hoop, and once again drew a foul to send himself to the free throw line.
And he has made his last 5 from the line. Smith has been a catalyst in the third quarter, along with Malik Petaway, who has had 2 field goals. Petaway.
Everything that you just said was a lie.
And he made them both.
And now
That stretches the Zombie lead, 79 to 52. Boy, a close game has turned into a runaway here in the third quarter.
It really has, and Brian Stasitis just made a couple of more personnel changes, as we mentioned at the outset of the contest, rotating his players in and out a lot more than the undermanned team from Red Rose, and that fatigue has got to be setting in already on the visitors now.
So the Thunder has had some of the voltage eliminated here in the third quarter. There's a springboard jumper with the high air ball. Rebound Davenport. McBride again. Missed again. And the rebound is knocked to Robbie Jones, who's back in. Jones teaming with McLaughlin, Brown, Ross, and Smith. McLaughlin missed. Second chance, no good. And while he tries for the ball, it looks like he was fouled on the floor, which will be the third team foul for the Thunder. I think the Thunder is getting very discouraged.
They are, and on that play, it was a little bit surprising because it looked as though McLaughlin at 6'10" had an easy lay-in. It went off the rim, got a second chance, couldn't get it. Then on the third chance, got fouled on the floor. So it's really a 27-point game, but it really could have been 29 easily on that exchange.
And it will be a sideline situation. Here is Ross on the money. We haven't heard from Ross for a while. He is able to beat the 14, 82 to 52, a 30-point lead. And the bump by McLaughlin against Davenport will send Demetrius to the line.
A 30-point lead almost seems to have snuck up on us. It didn't seem like they've gone in any big, huge spurts, but they've just been chipping and chipping and chipping and adding to it a little at a time.
And the Thunder have scored only 5 points in the first 4.5 minutes of this quarter. And to survive in this league, that just won't do it.
No, they won't. And That was a key right there, making both free throws. They're going to have to get points from the free throw line with the clock not moving to have any hope whatsoever of getting back into this ball game.
It's just 3 quarters. They're all here is Smith. Corkscrew move. And then also was whacked in the eye. Tylon Smith has had a great third quarter. But he had a good first and second quarter, too.
He did. He had 8 points in the first half, but really is the quarterback on offense, controlling the offense, dictating the play. But now, here after halftime, 9 points already, and I believe a technical foul has been called against Mullen Morrison.
What better way to say I love you than the gift of a team?
So Smith will be trying to finish a three-point play eventually.
Hey, Rex, we still talking.
Number 7,
one. He said he don't care.
Ralph Schatz has come into the game.
He said he won another one. Buy one, get one. Yes. Well, if you did. Like if you really contested,
Be shooting a couple of technicals?
I believe so. It's
Okay, that was it.
that was the technical there, Matt, and
Don't worry, I've been away for a while, trying to regain my knowledge, but there isn't any.
well, glad to have you back. Glad you're feeling better.
Boy, after a shaky start, he missed the first 3 free throws, but he has been working ever since. 3, 5, 7, 8, 9 in a row from the foul line. 86-54. We haven't seen Crowder in a while. Jones to Smith. Layup one. 86-54. And a reach-in foul by Jones. And that is the 5th foul in the quarter against the Zombies, so it'll be 2 shots. Yeah, in the second quarter, the Zombies were in control by low double figures, like from anywhere from 10 to 14. And then all of a sudden, in the third quarter, the Zombies have gone for blood.
Well, they've outscored the opposition 25-6 here in the third quarter so far, and we're not even halfway through the period.
And I'm looking at my score sheet, and maybe you can verify this. The Thunder has not had a 3-point field goal in this game yet.
You know, they actually, Crowder did have one in the second quarter, but that's been it. Just one 3-pointer for the visitors in the entire contest. Highly unusual here in the East Coast Basketball League.
It's unusual almost in any form of basketball.
That's a
one 3-point field goal in 2.5 quarters.
Definitely. One thing I noticed, the teams are not jacking them up from as far behind the arc as they have in the last couple of weeks. The last few weeks, there were guys taking shots from 26, 27 feet out.
Up Bailey, wanted to throw behind the back pass. Instead, there is Woodjoke for the layup. He's double figures now with 10. 88-57, midway through the third quarter.
Watch the steal, watch the steal.
Eddie Thompson has his pocket picked that time. And there is Woodjoke. Back-to-back buckets for him. You could almost see that steal coming.
You really could. He picked him clean and then immediately just took control, went down almost uncontested.
I think Ross called the timeout. So we'll have a break in the action with 5:31 left in the third quarter. It's the Zombies out in front of the Thunder, 88-59. This is going to be a long quarter and a half. Don't commit any foul. Do you think this is a bad finish
I don't.
I think it's these guys, they've been, that play against Smith and
On both ends.
they've been letting the little bumps go.
At this level of play, they could blow the whistle every 4 seconds. So you seem like a field hockey,
When you think of field hockey, who do you think of? I was doing a Legion game with her for Continental Cable, and in the 4th inning, she took off. She said, "That's it, I gotta go. We'll see you later." Back to action. Here's Thompson.
Good job.
Thompson's first points of the game. 90 to 59. And a foul in traffic. Only Jason Hernandez and Ralph Stacks have not scored for the Zombies. Of the active players, we take another break. 5:14 to play, and the Zombies leading. I have to think of this. Zombies leading by 31. How are you feeling?
After my second heart attack in December.
We get ready to resume play. 5:14 to go. 90 to 59 to score. Boots. Scoring things over here in the 3rd quarter. Davenport. That one warbles out. His teammates call him Mead, but Demetrius Davenport in this game has had 10 points. And it is a long uphill struggle for the Thunder, down by 30.
Thank you, Ralph.
Robbie Jones, his second quarter play. Hope does up control. Ross, a baseline move. Dumps it off to Thompson. Swirls out.
Hustle back.
By the number 13 Clemens. Here's Davenport. Davenport only his 4th field goal of the game, but it's 90 to 62. Jones and Smith in the backcourt for the Zombies. Jones didn't have the magic touch that but it's the last touch by McBride.
Looked as that.
With McBride, Bailey, Majoke, also Davenport, and the tournament. Only 4:30 left in the 3rd quarter, and both teams are in the penalty.
Going to be a lot of free throws shot between now and the start of the 4th quarter, it appears.
I think that is a very accurate prediction. And it will be Makai Clemens, who's 2 for 2 from the line. Not the first.
All these damn Duke guys getting drafted. He's not drafted. What's going on? Miguel, I just introduced Rice Cakes to my guy. Rice Cakes.
It is a 27-point lead for the Z. Another shot made by Davenport. Clemens. And it is 90 to 64. The Thunder try to come back. They need to stop this thing. Smith in order to do it. They didn't that time. Smith got up.
Good hustle on that rebound.
Ross.
Bam!
On target again for Ross. 93 to 64 after the 3-pointer.
Jake Ross, the doubtful starter that has 21 now in the game.
And it goes over the blocks. The ball goes into the blocks, and it's thrown to ball. 93-64 with 3:48 to play. Now Hernandez comes in, and I think for the first time today, Tylon Smith goes to the bench for a rest.
I think you're right, Matt. I don't recall him being out even for a moment in the first half at all.
I think he was even on the court at halftime. He just didn't want to leave.
That would be no surprise whatsoever, watching the way that he plays the game. He lives for this game.
And here's a guy who just refuses to quit. You know, went to Europe. He's just like I think you said, the willingness to play basketball. That's what he has, and that's why he is still a premier player.
And as you mentioned in the first half, what an impressive basketball pedigree he has as well.
$93-65. It's not ball here with 3:37 to go. Back into the game, number 10. And it is a fast break for the Thunder. And a collision between Ross and Majoke. Christo Majoke steps to the foul line.
Christo Majoke, a product of Lancaster Bible College, who's got quite an interesting statistics here on the roster. 6'7" and listed at 184 pounds.
I'd like to take that scale for an audit because I think he might be a little more than that, but we'll go what we have for notes. And Majoke makes two. And it's 93-67. A comfortable lead for the Zombies. Thompson, stop and go. That is what they call in the new modern jargon of basketball what he just did, a hesitation dribble, and it got him to the foul line.
It sure did. And as I said earlier, Thompson, again, a role player here with the Zombies, but in the minutes that he's put in this contest tonight, he's shown me a lot. Not a ton on the scoreboard, but he's been all over both sides of the court in the minutes that he's been given tonight.
The Thunder came into this game with a record of 6-4. The Zombies were 4-2. And the Thunder just did not have the offense tonight to stay with the Zombies, at least for the first 3 quarters.
Well, one unfortunate thing for Marlon Morrison's team is the fact that their leading scorer, George Williams, averaging 21.5 a game. One weekend a month, he has to do service in the Army, and this happens to be his weekend, so he's not with them tonight.
The joke is, however, he made the layup. This guy started off. Come on, Hernandez. And the rebound of the Karate. Majoke. Whirling dervish move. Couldn't tap it in. And now Hernandez has it for the Zombies. 95-69 with 2.5 minutes to play in the third quarter. Robbie Jones. Long three-pointer. Contested three-pointer, and he made it. Unbelievable.
I don't know if he called that one off the backboard, but fortunately, you don't have to in this game.
Been the star of the show, I think. Coming up with the seal is Terrence Thompson. Keeps it from going out of bounds. He has Kennedy with him, and he uses him for a layup. Kennedy with 10 points, and that was the range by Terrence Thompson. It's a 100-point effort for the Zombies. Majoke scores. What did you think of that move by Thompson?
Thompson showing 110% hustle on every aspect of that play, from the defensive end all the way down the floor, and then finding the open teammate, Kennedy, for the easy lay-in.
Jones Stuart Thompson is here again, but he traveled. Boy, Thompson has been like a dust spot covering the entire floor.
Yeah, he's been back and forth the entire game. Again, he probably hasn't had more than 10 minutes of playing time in the 29 minutes or so that we've played so far, but he's made the most of every opportunity since he's been in.
Davenport, switcheroo for three. And that is only the second three-pointer for the Thunder. And a little bump by Clemens. And Thompson will be hitting the foul line, where he's 2 for 2 tonight. Exactly 1 minute to play in the third quarter. And Terry Thompson, 5 points.
All of them in the third quarter.
And it made him both. And it's 102 to 74. Davenport putting a move on Jones and scoring. Davenport done a pretty good job.
He's got 11 points in the third quarter alone and 19 on the game, but unfortunately, due to the manpower shortage we've spoken of so many times so far tonight, he's going to have to play almost every minute for the remainder of the game, and the fatigue has got to be setting in.
The foul was called. 39.8 seconds to play before the fourth quarter gets underway.
Michael, tuck in your shirt.
Brown ready to go from the foul line.
Michael, tuck in your
10
shirt.
points tonight.
Is that a girl?
The foul shooting for the most part for the Zombies is pretty decent tonight.
They struggled last week from the free throw line for quite a bit of the contest, but you're right, they're much better today as Brown makes the second.
1 out of 2 for Brown. 103 to 76. Here is Crowder, and he can contact. Kind of a dismayed look by Kennedy. 33 and a half seconds to play in the third quarter, and Crowder going to the line. And he hasn't played much in the third quarter. Before that, he's picked up 11 points.
That's his first point of the second half.
It can't be a body because I can still see his face in his eyes.
That one hits the back rim. Hernandez, as he tried to get the ball
Around the middle.
foul.
Around the middle.
So we go back to the foul line.
No hugging players.
I think McBride is fouled out of the game, Tim.
And that certainly is not going to make Mullen Morrison pleased, because only having 7 players suited up for tonight's contest, you can certainly ill afford to lose one of them due to fouls, especially with 31 seconds remaining in the third quarter. You still have another 12 minutes to play in the fourth quarter.
And the first free throw is missed by Hernandez. When it turns out he has not scored yet. But that could end on his free throw.
I have a feeling it will. Right on cue.
Said that on the first shot.
Right on cue, though.
Davenport, 3-point bomb. Comes up short. Clemens couldn't get the rebound. Trying to zigzag his backcourt. No foul is called. And Majot makes the layup. What a third quarter from Majot with 12 points. 104 to 79. Hernandez lost the handle. Ball, 1 second. Here's the shot. McBride misses at the horn. And that is the way the third quarter ends. The Zombies win the It's the Zombies 104 and the Thunder 79. gymnasium here at the community center. Tim Jensen is alongside. Tylon Smith with 22. Nick Ross with 20. And with 20, Robbie Jones. And I think those are 3 reasons that the Zombies have an impressive lead heading into the fourth quarter.
Yeah, no surprise with Smith and Ross being among the highest scorers on the team, but Robbie Jones, 20 points so far, including 5 3-pointers, 4 in the second quarter and 1 in the third period.
And his shooting percentage must be phenomenal. There's McBride, overshot, rebounded by Thompson.
Go Zombies!
Start the fourth quarter. On his way to the hoop. And he scores.
This kid,
The man who never relaxes. Terrence Thompson has 8 points and will try for 1 more.
That was a...
Boy, one thing about the Zombies tonight, they've been getting scoring from many sources, and that's what they needed. 2 of their big guns not here.
Well, they certainly were losing out on a lot with DeRozier and Jamaica Green-Younger not being here. That's 33.5 points a game between the two. That's missing from the lineup tonight, but the other players off the bench have certainly picked up that slack.
3-point play. And here's Crowder. He overshoots, rebounds, reach around, not there, rebounded by Headaway. Headaway didn't see much action in the third quarter. Kennedy being double teamed. And I think an offensive foul.
That was a 10-second violation. They did not cross the center line with 10 seconds of possession of the ball, so therefore it's a turnover, goes back to Red Rose.
You don't see that very often. We have just witnessed it. McBride. 2-pointer for McBride. 5 points. 107 to 81. Thompson was trapped, not and now Pettaway. Back to Hernandez. Takes a pogo stick bounce and into the orange foul. Crowder trying to go coast to coast. Now dishes it off. And rebounded by Thompson. Seems to have a nose for the ball.
He's been unbelievable today. He may not be, the highest scorer or the biggest rebounder or anything like that, but along with Robbie Jones, I really think Terrence Thompson has been a real spark plug here tonight for Western Mass.
And I would throw Kennedy into that mix in the second quarter when the Zombie kind of established control of the game. He was very much a factor.
Yeah, Kennedy, in fact, in double figures for scoring tonight for the first time since he joined the club.
3-pointer laser beam by Micah Crowder. And it's 107 to 84. And in the second half, the lead is hovered around 30. Tylon Smith getting ready to go back in. Jackknife jumper by Jones, no good. McBride rebound. And that little leg kick. So does McBride, and he drills the 3-pointer. So it's 107 to 87.
It's still a 20-point margin, but it was over 30 just a few minutes ago. As we said, things can change quickly here in the ECBL.
Here's Hernandez.
Lloyd Kennedy not really believing the call on that one, but threw his hands up, but that doesn't change the call.
No, and
You had your fun, guys.
it looked like the contact you see for everyone. But it's a 20-point lead. And a pass from Clemens. Shot missed. And missed again by Zachary Bowles. He had 2 opportunities.
Really,
So it's tough to say the lead is chopped down to 20 and keep a straight face. We still have 9:27 to go.
And anything can happen with the fast pace of the league play, with the advent, of course, of the three-point shot, which guys are not afraid to take the outside shot. Anything can happen. There's still 9.5 minutes to go.
Gray in a hurry. Boy, the longer he has played today, the better he has gotten.
And I think
Joe misses. The Thunder will maintain. No, it'll go to the Zombies. Nope, the Thunder. And into the crowd, Tylon Smith.
there's about as much contact as there was on the non-charging call in the first half.
And McBride is off range. Smith whips it. Robbie Jones. And there's Thompson who has a hot hand. 9 points in the quarter for Thompson and the Zombies. Leading 113-87. Deflected out of bounds. Boy, you called it right on Terrence Thompson. The more playing time that he's gotten in this game, the more effective he's been.
It's really I don't want to say unexpected, but it's a 15-point outburst for him tonight, season high, of course, and also playing, though, so well on the defensive end of the court. It's just been a terrific game so far for Terrence Thompson.
Clement with a turnaround three. And 113-90, a 23-point advantage for the Zombies. Thompson shooting over McBride, and he makes another. 3 in a row for Thompson from the downtown.
And did you see the smile on his face as he retreated back into defensive position on that one, Matt?
Boy, that one was from the roulette wheel of the MGM. Now Smith, no look pass to Ross. And there is Penaway. Hammers it in. Malik Penaway with 16. And it seems like the Zombies, when they want to play off each other, they can turn a 20-point lead into a 28-point lead. Here is Majoke, missing. Ross rebounds. And out of the pass. We play on like soccer. Majoke, air ball. Actually, it didn't hit the rim, but Penaway tried to break from the half and is fouled.
Gotta hate those fouls that occur about 80 feet away from the basket, but
It's okay until you get into the penalty and you have to shoot. So Robbie Jones comes out of the game tonight. He has scored 20 points, 5 3-pointers.
What was the call?
So Thompson will lose it. Tells his teammates it's okay. 7:19 to play, regulation time. Here is McBride. Not there. And Thompson tried to go over the pass and he ran into the joke.
and here again, in an attempt to stop the fast break, they commit a foul 75 feet from the basket this time.
Tim Jensen, our analyst tonight, very prolific writer for Patch.com, and maybe you can tell the fans how they get to see your work. And we found great 3-point shooting from Thompson. 4 in a row. And Crowder getting the layup. Smith picking up the foul. "17 points for Micah Crowder. 121-92. The Zombies leading by 20. And I don't know if I've ever seen a three-point shooter as hot as Thompson is now. You could blindfold him, and he would be tickling the twine. 121-92 as Smith will go to the line. Tylon tonight, 22 points.
And he's got a great...
One for Thompson. Does that add up with what you have?
Thompson, I have 12, 13, 15. I have 21, sir. You are correct.
10 free throws in a row for Tylon Smith. 23. You know, Robbie Jones has been amazing. Terrence Thompson has been amazing, but Tylon Smith has been the heart and soul, I think, tonight for the Zombies.
As he is every game, as we've said, he's the leader of this team. He's the quarterback. He runs the offense. He dictates the offense. He controls the play. He can shoot from outside, and he likes to drive the lane and draws a lot of fouls, which a lot of his points tonight have been from the charity stripe.
In this game, I think he's been the quarterback, the middle linebacker, the fullback, the wide receiver. He's done just about everything.
Even had that play in the first half where he looked like a free safety, taking one right in the chest from Larry Zonka. Am I dating myself by saying Larry Zonka, Matt?
Well, for anyone I think who's over the age of 40, I don't know if they know who Larry Zonka is. Don't remember Butch Cassidy and Sundance Kid, Larry Zonka and Jim Kid.
Yep, with Mercury Morris.
There is Majoke getting his own rebound momentarily, but Smith comes away with it. 6 to go. Thompson couldn't make the layup. It's been unbelievable on three-pointers. Here's McBride on target.
McBride with his second three-pointer of the fourth quarter, and he's got 8 in this quarter, but he'd only had 3 points in the entire game prior to that.
That move is nullified. And an official timeout. 5:56 left in the fourth quarter. The Zombies up 123-95.
Folks, don't forget, May 15th, former Boston Celtics Big Daddy Glenn Davis will be making his Zombie debut as our honorary assistant head coach. That's Saturday, May 15th.
And a shot missed by Davenport, but Clemens is there to put it in. And it's 97 for the Thunder. They're down by 26. Here's Smith, and he rolls it in. Tylon Smith has been almost unstoppable in this game. 125-97 and a half-court foul.
Whoa, watch out.
Tylon Smith, one of the few players who can give color commentator during the game. Not too many people can do that, Tim, as we will make a long walk to the other end so Majoke can shoot foul shots. And Majoke just missed 2, makes that one. 21 points for Majoke. And Christo shoots again, good again. So 125-99, a 26-point push for the Zombies. 5:20 to play. And Thompson, the most exciting player on the floor, I think, in the second half. Terrence, a fall away. Not that time. And Ross can't pick up the ball. Instead, Clemens has it. Clemens almost lost it. He was all over. Into the corner, and McBride misses a juggling rebound. That was Petaway. The Zombies have the ball with 4:50 to play. And Tyron Smith, now picked up by Clemens. And he ditches it off to Petaway, who scores. Basket around by Smith, scored by Petaway. It was 18. Davenport, layup.
First points of the fourth quarter for Davenport, and that's been a real key because he's been their offensive leader through the first 3 quarters.
What a play by Smith. He was falling down, made the layup, and he says there was nothing to it.
And that's the kind of player Tyron Smith is. You'd never know. You look at the scoreboard, they were up by 26 points, yet Smith is playing like it's a 1-point ball game. 100% hustle all the time, determination, grit, power, everything on that play, and he draws the foul.
He was horizontal when he saw that ball go in. Oh. And the is good. 29 points for Tyron Smith.
Good job.
And he got off to a slow start, I think, like everybody obviously did, but he really popped the hurt. McBride shoots over Hernandez and comes up with a bucket. 130 to 103. 4 minutes to play, and the Zombies are in control. Double team on top. Inside this area. Respected him. Here is Hernandez. Hooks it to Petaway. Petaway against Majoke. And an offensive foul. So not too many things have gone right in the second half for the Thunder, but they got a good defensive play that time by Majoke.
They sure did, and just prior to that, a bucket by McBride. McBride's been held below his season average so far today. He only had 3 points through the first 3 quarters. He's had 10 here in the fourth quarter, but still below his season average of 16.9.
Could be a 3-point possibility here as Petaway followed Davenport. Davenport with the bucket. It really is 20 points for Reed Davenport. Substitutions for the Zombies. They have McLaughlin. Schatz is back in. Hernandez. Thompson. And for the first time in this game, we see Andre Daniels. And we see some firepower that time by McBride. So he just started to heat up, but most of his points have been in the fourth quarter. And the outcome is heavily in the Zombies' corner. Now there's a foul on the perimeter against Thompson. That was Bailey who picked up the foul. 22-point lead for the Zombies with 3:21 left in regulation time. Thompson, who is 5 for 5 from the foul line, goes to work. You know, whenever you say that, Tim, you worry about the announcer's chance.
You're absolutely right. It's usually the kiss of death when you say something. The opposite usually happens immediately afterward, but not in this case, as Thompson sinks them both.
7 for 7, 132 to 108. There's McBride. That wiggles out. Here's Thompson. He doesn't even have. They couldn't bury the shot, and McLaughlin goes over the back to pick up the foul.
Tremendous hustle by Thompson. We've been saying it this entire second half. Thompson taking it down 1 against 2 defenders, making a nice behind-the-back dribble, put up the shot. It just didn't quite fall, though, which is one of the few times we've said that here in the second half with him.
He is a fast-forward type of player, isn't he?
He really is, and being from Connecticut, both of us, pride of Waterbury, Connecticut.
.307 left, and it looks like the Zombies will be improving their record 5-2. The Thunder will be falling to 6-5. And a lane violation against the Thunder.
You don't see that call too often, Matt. A pump fake violation on a free throw.
Like never. Is there one out? What? The officials, and I'm a believer in this, you have to call the game according to what happens on the court.
Not by the scoreboard. You're 100% correct, Matt.
Daniel misses for Kennedy with the offensive rebound of Hernandez. Hernandez got it up over. No, Kennedy is there. There's your contact.
You got to think at this stage of the game with a 23-point lead, just under 3 minutes remaining, they're going to try to get Daniel on the scoreboard. He's the only member of the Zombies that hasn't scored yet in the game. He sees limited playing time. He's the veteran of this team, being a 2003 graduate of Kaner Tech in, as we mentioned earlier, Waterbury.
Kaner Tech, that's where Lions decided to coach high school basketball. 132 to 109 our score. Davenport going to the hoop and getting two. 24-point effort for Davenport. 132 to 111. Thompson finds Daniel, and Daniel unselfishly gives it to the block and moves another layup. But a turnover. Daniel. Thompson. Can he continue his hot streak? Not that time. But he tries to get his own rebound. Instead, it's Bailey. Finds Clemens. And he ping-pongs that one in. Mackay Clemens has had a big fourth quarter. 132 to 113. It's under the lead. And McJoe. Half-court team to McBride. Not there. Rebounded by Daniel. 151 to play. Hernandez. He just fired it up. Kenny trying to get the rebound, but it goes to McJoe. And a double dribble. We see the double dribble, a lane violation, a 10-second violation. Maybe the last 138 we can play next door at the playground because we've seen a lot of individual theatrics.
Not to mention the dreaded up fake violation from the free throw line.
And a turnover. Here is Clement. He tried to pocket it in and couldn't do it. So we see the missed dunk. Add that to the.
You were saying?
Kennedy lost the handle, but he was fouled. That's why he lost the handle. 1:16 left, regulation time. 132 to 113.
Well, they say the East Coast Basketball League is known for exciting end-to-end action, and it certainly has lived up to its billing here tonight. Not used to seeing scores quite this high. In fact, the last couple of weeks, the scores have been quite a bit lower than this here with the Zombies.
Boy, that took a straight-up bounce, hit cloud 9, and bounced back into the hoop.
We've definitely seen a few oddities in the last few minutes, that's for sure.
11 points for Lloyd Kennedy. The man with the orange sneakers makes them both. And it's 134 to 113. The Zombies have had a very comfortable second half. Davenport trying to pass it down to the baseline. And it's out of commission to Clement. 1:08 left. And there is full court pressure by the Thunder. Well, enough fake by Kennedy, but he missed a shot. The block on his wrist. He didn't make the layup, but he was fouled.
Nice thing for Western Mass tonight with this victory that they're about to clinch in 52 seconds. It'll be their third straight win, and it will give them the outright lead in the Mid-Atlantic Conference. They were technically tied with Red Rose coming into the game. Red Rose does not have as good a winning percentage, but they played 4 more games than Western Mass had. So Western Mass will assume sole possession of first place in the conference.
3 points for McLaughlin. I think his only basket was the first basket for the Zombies in the second half. 136 to 113, 23-point advantage. Davenport has thrown up a lot of shots in the second half, and that one went in. Davenport, 26 points. One of the bright spots tonight for the Thunder. Now here is Thompson darting to the hoop. And he missed the shovel shot, rebounded by Majoke. Here's Davenport. And he goes to the trailing Bailey, who misses the dunk. Second dunk miss in the last couple of minutes. Hernandez misses his shot. Majoke rebounds. 18 seconds left. Time to shoot for McBride and to make it. 3-pointer. McBride has had a bushel in the third quarter. Here's Kennedy. McLaughlin. Second hoop of the game for McLaughlin. 7 seconds to play. McBride. Daniels got a piece of it. 138 to 128. And that does it. Our final score tonight, 138 to 118. The Zombies with the victory. And before we go to our post-game coverage, Pitt Jensen, what are your thoughts on a dominant performance by the Zombies?
Well, after that very, very slow start, they just took over about midway through the first period and never did let back. They got the lead up as high as 32 at one point, end up with a 20-point win, their third straight victory, and again, taking advantage of a team that didn't have very many reserves, and that clearly showed with Brian Sicitus liberally utilizing his bench and getting tremendous output offensively and defensively from non-starters like Robbie Jones and Terrence Thompson.
And between them, let's see, there were 4 3-pointers for Thompson and for Robbie Jones. He had 5 3-pointers, so 9 3-pointers for 2 guys up off the bench. And I think your point, you said before the game, that the Zombies had the potential to wear the Thunder down, as you just said. That is the case. We'll have post-game coverage next. Our final score, the Zombies 138, the Thunder 118.
Well done, sir.
Okay.
I think Thompson should be doing the interview, I think. Because at halftime, Mark says, oh, yeah, we'll have Jones. But I think Thompson ended up with more points and did more on both sides, I think. What do you think?
Thompson was surely the spark plug. Don't forget, when Jones was scoring his points, it was like a 14-point game. Mm-hmm. Then Thompson got hot, and all of a sudden it was in the 30s.
Totally your call. You're the interview.
Well, he's hanging around, so